Hello, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a sewing kit beginner and like what's in my sewing kit.
I touch that 5 for you. I do that 3-4 times a can I testify for you. I told her like you that bitch, I do it all in a move.
Some of the essentials you need to start sewing and for your sewing kit. So obviously you need your sewing machine, which I have my bad boy here. I would suggest getting a domestic one at first. First little area, I just have thread. I would suggest getting a big roll like this as your base, because you'll do a lot of work with like white fabric or black fabric, and like you can use white for top stitching, same with black depending if you want it seen or not, but also depending on the fabric you're using. And yeah, there's different kind of fabrics, so these ones I cannot use. These are embroidery
you could do so
embroidery threads, which is different. So they're like this is what they look like. They're different from normal thread. They're a bit thicker and my machine can't handle it because you need like an embroidery machine and needle for it. So that's what these are. Like they were a bit different from, for example, this is quite what the normal thread will look like. It's quite thin. I don't know if you can see, that's thin, and that one's a bit thicker. I would suggest having a big roll firstly, and then what you want is a pair of bobbins. So this is what a bobbin is. It's the little roll that you have inside your sewing machine, and it's like the stitch underneath. And I like to have a few of these already completed with a collar inside, because sometimes you'll be sewing and your bobbin will run out, so it's good to have one ready so you can just pop that in. Like they're different for industrial and domestic ones, just so you guys know. But then in my little bottom drawer, my favorite thing is, and what I mostly use in here, so I would suggest to get a pins for your sewing. Definitely have a box of them, because you will lose them, they'll go missing, they'll end up on the floor and you might not find them again. And obviously a measuring tape, because in sewing there's a lot of math going on, and I have this around my neck just like how doctors have their, I'm not sure what it's called, but here you can add, take away, figure out how much you need to remove from your waist or anything you're doing like that. And then my fabric scissors, it is a little like bent like an L, so you can get like a flat cut, if that makes sense. And these fabric scissors are just meant to cut fabric, okay guys? Don't use it for anything else, because you end up damaging your scissors, and we don't want them because that's like, their scissors are expensive. Next thing is a seam ripper. This is very important. It is exactly what it sounds like. It will rip your seams where you've done mistakes, just like so. They come in different sizes. They have bigger ones, they have smaller ones. It all depends on what you like. And then I have a pair of snips. This one is to cut like thread quickly. I would also suggest some tailor chalk. So that's basically, you can like outline on fabric and you can remove the outline. You need some needles for your machine because they might break, and some hand needles so you can just hand stitch. Let me just go over the things that you properly need. So number one, I'd say you'll need is your fabric scissors. Just use this for fabric, nothing else, because you don't want to destroy the scissors. Next thing is a measuring tape. This will be your best friend. And then you have thread in your base colors, which are usually black and white, and I would suggest getting a big roll like this. And then you have hand sewing needles for hand stitching or finishing. Different sizes work, like they're good to have. A box of pins. For pins, I would say get a pin cushion or a pin magnet. Next is a seam ripper. That will be your worst enemy and best friend, because in sewing a lot of mistakes happen and you'll have to redo it. Finally, I would say you need a snips as well, because they cut thread really quick and easy. So let's take some from here. I don't know if you can see it, it's right there, and then you just go like that, so it cuts it quickly, so you don't need to take out your fabric scissors to do that. So those are the main pieces you'll need to start with when you're sewing. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit that like, comment, and subscribe. You made it this far, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye! Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Always just another